Hey everyone, welcome back. And today I'm going to be doing what if New York decides to form an empire. So, with New York now becoming imperial, they decided to go after New England. So, and that is Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. And they could be throwing in Maine, but I think with Maine, then it'll be a little bit harder to defeat. So, they decide to just go after the small countries first. So, after capturing I forgot the names of the capitals, but let's just say Vermont surrenders, and then New Hampshire, and then eventually, yeah, let's just say that all of them surrender. So, with this part gone, we now have easy access to Maine without any more uh, states coming up. So, with New York already threatening Augusta, soon Augusta is captured, and then eventually Maine surrenders. Okay, so that was fast. Let's look at the peace treaty. So here we see the full annexation of New England. So what they decide to do next is start heading south, since that's all they can do. Because if they invade Canada, then yeah, they would easily get destroyed. So with the U.S. already starting to collapse because of New England gone, so they start trying to like put some laws into New York saying that they cannot advance anymore, but it's New York. Just let them advance. So, with them declaring war on Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland, the rest of the states has enough, and then they say that they're already threatening Washington, D.C., so they could easily take them over, but eventually Pittsburgh is captured, and then Philadelphia, and then the northern part of Maryland falls, and then eventually Maryland surrenders, also does Delaware, and then eventually New Jersey falls, and then the rest of Pennsylvania falls. So the U.S. the rest of the states are furious in New York about this, but New York doesn't care. And let's look at the peace treaty. So here's the peace treaty. We see that they have been fully annexed, and then New York is gonna need some allies, and then eventually with the northeastern part of the U.S. already collapsing. Yeah, the U.S. is pretty much already weak. So New York decides to fund some separatist movements in other states, and then Texas, California, Nevada, Washington, Oregon, Florida, Minnesota, Montana, and New Mexico declare its independence from the Union. So eventually, they basically start heading towards any civil war. And then, let's just say, yeah, at this point, it is a civil war. So, with the states then now declaring war on the rebellious states, yeah, we see some mixed opinions in the world. And yeah, some of them don't like that, while some of them just don't care at all. And then, let's just say that the first thing New York does is still invade Ohio, West Virginia, Virginia, Washington, D.C., North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and then soon connecting up with Florida, soon connecting with Texas, cutting them off from the ocean. Now, the U.S. is now landlocked, capturing Madison and the Great Lakes. Now they're landlocked fully. And then, yeah, they start advancing towards the west, and then eventually, yeah, this happens, and then that happens, and then eventually the rest of the states decide to surrender. So with this, let's look at the peace treaty. So here's the peace treaty. We see now there's only like three states left. now declaring, I mean, since they're all independent, they now claim as independent sovereign nations. So they decide, I mean, and with Hawaii and Alaska, once again, Hawaii sinks into the ocean, Alaska is reclaimed by Russia, and then, yeah, New York decides that this is not enough. So, yeah, let's just say, yeah, they declare war on Texas and Minnesota, and then they start advancing. Minnesota already surrenders, and then Texas is a little bit stronger, but they are losing some territory. Eventually, Texas already falls. So let's look at the peace treaty. So here's the peace treaty. We see that Texas and Minnesota has been fully annexed by New York, and then they decide to look south towards Mexico, and then they declare war. And then with the Mexicans being unprepared, yeah, they start pretty much advancing, soon capturing Mexico City, and then with that, Mexico already surrenders. And then since they're there, yeah, let's just betray the whole entire nation and declare war on Washington and California. So with the new manpower of the Mexicans, they are able to storm up, taking Los Angeles, then storming into New Mexico, and then Utah, and then Helena, Boise, and then Olympia, Salem, Carson City, and then eventually Sacramento. And then eventually, yeah, let's look at the peace treaty. So here's the peace treaty. We see that, yeah, basically New York is now the United States, but it's no longer the United States. It's, uh, let's just call it the United York. I don't, I mean, the states of New York. I don't know, but this is now New York annexing all of America and annexing all of Mexico. And now, yeah, New York is now a powerful country since they collapsed one of the strongest countries. And yeah, so I, so that was short. This is a short video. Hopefully, y'all like the video, and I'll see you on the next.